All right, we are live here at Daro Pizza, downtown Greenville, 116 North Markley Street. To my right is Brandon Brady Fitzpatrick. To my left is Lee Mason. We are 2 Minute of Football. Want to thank Plumbing and Pink, Rusty and Lynn Greer, one of our sponsors, 864-735-7014, and Chris Pryor of Service Realty, 864-380-0525. So we're going to start talking with a little college football. Obviously, there was a change to the Clemson offensive coordinator, and then Brandon Streeter was sent packing, and then Dabo Sweeney brought in the TCU offensive coordinator to take his spot. Also brought in Jeff Scott, who was fired as the University of South Florida football program. He's back as an analyst and doing some help with recruiting. And then at least I was waiting to see what CJ Stroud did. Finally, at the deadline, which was today, CJ Stroud finally announced that he was declaring for the draft.
You were expecting that.
Why did I think that he was staying for a good year?
They were trying to put together an NIL package.
Sure. Yeah.
For him to stay. He wanted at least $4 million to stick around. This is the life of the transfer.
This is the world we live in now.
The world we live in now. Exactly.
We pay college players.
We play college players to stay. But I mean, I ultimately knew that he wasn't going to stay, even if they put together a ridiculous NIL package.
Because even at top 5, he's going to make more than.
Oh yeah. I mean, the signing bonus alone is more than a $4 million NIL package. And then we heard that Spencer Rattler coming back for another year at the University of South Carolina. You guys got a new your quarterback transferred out? Which one?
Yeah, our quarterback transferred out and went to Arizona State.
Right.
Or ASU or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they got Sam Hartman.
Then they got Sam Hartman from
Wake Forest.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the ACC. Any other college football news you want to bring up?
Other than the beatdown of that game last week.
Oh, well, yeah. We can talk about that for a little while.
Yeah, let's dive into that. There's is it another situation where welcome to the SEC? This whole playoff thing isn't going to work when you have to play in Alabama or Georgia or something like that. And I think all of us want it to work. I think we all want to see 12 or 16 teams, whatever. And it kind of levels the playing field. But I go back to when Notre Dame played Alabama in 2013, and it just got smashed.
Or when they played Clemson and lost, was it 30-3 or whatever?
Yeah. Right. That was a couple years ago. So is it going to be that way too?
Yes. I mean, basically, everybody has a whole lot of catching up to do.
Correct.
Because I think if you played on a neutral field, you probably have Alabama, Georgia, and LSU beat everybody.
Right. There's the parity in college sports really does need to level out.
There are the haves and the have-nots. It's like with any other kind of.
I know that Ohio State and Georgia was close. I think more of that was, Georgia was kind of flat for a lot of the game.
But Ohio State is up there with Georgia and Alabama.
Sure.
So they're good.
But if they play them 10 times, it's probably 7-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll agree to disagree on that
Oh, come on.
Well, just be unbiased about it.
If you go back like 20 years.
Oh, listen to this guy. Just be unbiased about it. When we start talking about the Buffalo Bills, this guy's gonna go,
Well,
oh,
we
man.
lost by 3
He's gonna go,
points. So I have a lot to say about how the Bills played yesterday.
But if you look over the last 20
Don't
years,
be
the
biased.
SEC
I don't wanna hear any of your bullshit.
The SEC has 16 national championships. in the last
Correct.
20 years.
Correct.
I mean, it's.
The Big East has what, 2, 3?
Big.
The Big East, the Big Ten.
The Big Ten, the
Big
Big East,
Ten.
the ACC.
The ACC has 3,
All right.
and then there was a year that the Pac.
They were
there was
good.
a split.
Yeah.
There was the
I mean, it was
USC and LSU
USC.
split one,
Right. So,
Right.
and then
yeah.
Ohio State has the 1.
2. We have
No,
2 in the
20.
last 20?
Just 1. It was, wasn't it 01?
You had,
Wasn't it
Yeah,
01?
01 Miami.
Yeah. That
And
was
then,
just the 2015.
oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right. That's correct. We've been there so many times, I can't keep track of to the college football. To the college football.
So many
playoff.
times to lose. Hey, at least you had that. I'd love it if my team just got.
I love how John went hiding behind it. He's laughing to walk away. He's laughing. He's laughing. So John is the owner here of Todaro Pizza, which is where we're sitting right now. Unfortunately, maybe he might be able to join us to chime in here in a few minutes.
He is fully
But
loaded. Fully
yes,
loaded.
he's got lots to say, but unfortunately, he's got to work. It is cheap pizza night, $5 off any large pie.
It is.
Which is a
great.
great deal.
I'm from New York. He's from New York. He's from North Carolina. Really good pie. So come on down.
Yes, come on down and say you know 2 Men in a Football. I don't know if that'll help you with a discount or anything. That's
Promo code 2 men.
Scan the QR.
And if you want to order delivery, you got to do it through Bite Squad because they do not deliver. Or you can go over to Hoppin here, have yourself some beers, and they will deliver it over to Hoppin. And then, so we're here downtown Greenville. Always a good spot. You can catch me here this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I will welcome you with open arms in this lovely spot. You'll get to see my ugly face as soon as you walk in the door.
Yeah, not
Everybody wants to go hungry, right?
not very inviting to see this guy right here.
All right. Any other college news you want to talk about?
We're done with college.
We're done with college.
Hey, listen, NFL playoffs. Like,
Oh, I do want to say this. Jim Harbaugh is staying in
he's going
Michigan.
back, yeah.
He's staying in Michigan.
Because we all know why. He couldn't get a job in the NFL.
Well, he couldn't get the
I
amount of
bet
money.
he could.
He could, but he probably couldn't get the control and the amount of money that he
I
wanted.
bet the Texans would hire.
The Texans would hire anybody.
Yeah, the Texans will hire you and fire you. Like, Lovie Smith, I don't,
Listen,
I never.
I think that was to cover the Rooney rule.
Yeah.
They
Hello,
just
ladies. How are
kind
you?
of.
I mean, he won his last game.
That's what's true. That's what's true.
Yeah, now they don't have to do it. But he knew he was gone, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
The mere fact, he looks like a very nice guy. The mere fact they hired Lovie Smith, who has not had a winning record. I don't think
Bears.
with that,
Yeah.
and that's when the Bears had a pretty decent squad.
I mean, they did go to the Super Bowl.
They did.
They did.
Oh, that's right.
With
Tony
Rex
Dungy.
Grossman.
Yeah.
Like,
Rex Grossman.
that's crazy.
And they went against Peyton Manning. Yeah. Tony Dungy. So it was actually the first African American coach African American coach against him.
Ever.
Yeah, and it was against Peyton Manning. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, there was no chance.
Although Devin Hester did take the opening kickoff.
He did.
He did,
Yeah.
as he did many of times.
Right. Speaking of Naheem Hines.
Here we go. All right, let's get into this NFL playoffs.
Okay.
Playoffs. Who said anything about playoffs? We had some hell of a game.
Who is that? Jay Moore?
No,
No, Moro, Jim Moro.
Jim Moore.
He was the head coach of the Saints at the time.
Yeah. I thought it was
I believe he was head coach.
He was the Saints.
It was the Saints, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Colts. I don't know. Let's have our production, let's have our fact checks.
We'll get our researcher over here on it here in a couple minutes. But I think it's the Saints as well. Way back in the day, because Dennis Green was with the Vikings. He was part of that commercial.
Although, to let him off the hook.
They are who they thought we are.
Yeah.
They were who they thought they were.
That was Carter.
And then you had Herm Edwards, who was coach of the Jets at the time.
Way to win the game.
Play to win the game. Play to win the game. I don't know if you guys remember that Coors Light. I don't know.
Oh, look at that.
Jim Mora.
Oh, okay.
It was cold.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right. Yeah, you were right. You were right.
I know my trivia, guys. I'm always here.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's we'll talk about Saturday's games first, and then we'll talk about yesterday's games, and then we'll talk about tonight's game. I got a lot about tonight's game. I can't wait. I can't wait.
What can go wrong?
Will go wrong.
And, welcome to Cowboys country on that one.
All right, so first game we'll get into is the Chargers Jags debacle.
No, we got to start off with the Seahawks.
Why?
AKA Brandon Staley getting fired game.
Yeah.
You know, I heard from Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter that his job is safe. I mean, as surprising as it is to me, considering that colossal
27-0.
screw up.
It has to
I mean,
be a record.
No,
In
so
the playoffs.
apparently it is a record. Apparently what's gonna happen is Staley stays, but apparently the defensive coordinator is gonna be showing the door as well as some other staff members.
So let me ask you a question. Was it play calling on the defense side or was it execution? Because I can't believe that it was play calling. It was coach's fault.
Well, I mean, if you look at the players that they have on defense,
They've got some good
yeah, I
players.
don't see how it's got to be scheme.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, Nick Bosa lost his
Oh, he lost
his mind. Slammed his helmet, got a 15 yards, unsportsmanlike. Almost got tossed from the game because he was jawing at the referee after he slammed his helmet and he threw the flag. I was like, just pick up your helmet and go sit down. Like, actually, Brandon Staley is the one who picked up Bosa's helmet and handed it to him and kind of like pushed him.
The other thing too, though, is when you have that offense. Well, okay, so he decided to play Mike Williams when it didn't matter. He got hurt before, so he couldn't even play in the game.
Correct.
But then even so, with all of those weapons,
Keenan Allen.
and then you don't run the ball that much with
Eckler
Eckler.
sort of killed it.
Yeah, like why they just the play call
And
there.
Eckler is also a great pass catching
Yeah.
running back out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, I don't know. I think they went to the conservative offense. They really didn't run their normal schemes that they usually run, which obviously we saw in the first half, blew the doors off of Jacksonville. They went conservative, and the defense couldn't hold it.
When you have-
the defensive coordinator, whatever plays he was calling, couldn't keep Jacksonville from running down the field. I mean,
How many turnovers did Trevor Lawrence have?
he had 4 interceptions.
First quarter.
4 interceptions in the first half. I don't know about
But no, the first quarter was 3.
Okay.
And you still, like, that is right there. You have to execute on those mistakes. You are given a gift, and obviously it's 27-0. So,
And they
all
did.
do is
They
to hold
just-
the board.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's almost like they just they
Folded
thought,
like a
yeah. I
cheap suit.
mean, I guess they thought they had it in the bag, and they just did not bring it in the second half.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so do you think Brandon Staley is the kind of coach that if they give him one more year, can get the potential, the full potential for Justin Herbert, who is
No.
a weapon?
No, I think they need
They need
they
somebody
need
else.
they need a big
They need a
offensive
veteran,
coach because he has the potential to be one of the best, if not the best, and
They need, honestly, I hate to say that. I would love Sean Payton,
Wherever he goes.
but you know who I think would be a good OC there? Jason Garrett.
Just for OC.
Right.
Oh, just for
Okay,
OC.
okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
for
I was
OC.
gonna say,
He
you know,
stumped it up as head coach.
Correct, but Jason Garrett is a hell of an OC. He knows how
I
to,
think that's
he
a good
knows how
idea.
to train young players. He's done it many of times.
But what about Jason Garrett and Sean Payton? Because they have to.
Yeah,
They have to score.
I don't see both of them meshing. Both of them have different philosophies, and I don't see them trying to. Anyway, I'll keep going. I just don't see them meshing.
No, well, and there's a rumor that Herbert doesn't really like him that much.
Staley?
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of the Dolphins head coach.
Well, and he
I
just,
mean-
Not as cocky, but yeah.
yeah.
No, but he does. The problem with Brandon Staley is he's a very standoffish,
But he made,
kind of, I'm gonna let my players run this team more than I am kind of guy. And you saw it kind of into kind of a bind.
but he's also that coach that's like, oh, it's 4th and 15, let's just go for it.
Well, that's the other thing.
Like, he does, yeah, he's right.
This isn't Madden.
Right, yeah.
We're not playing a
We used
video
to do
game.
that
fellas.
because we had no consequence
That's right.
besides losing a video game.
Exactly.
And yeah, a lot of times the manual would work. But yeah,
You can't just say, oh, I've got the quarterback with the strongest arm in the world.
And
Mike
I've got
Williams run a go route.
Keenan Allen,
just chuck
Mike
it.
Williams, I've got, yeah. No, I agree. I think, I honestly think that Staley should be fired if I was in charge. But it's not gonna happen from what I heard from Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter. There will be some staff changes, but bring in a new OC, right? So Staley's been there, this was his third year?
Yeah, I think
This
so.
was his third year, right? So he's been
Is
in
it second? Okay.
second year for Staley.
We got our
We've got our statistician researcher.
yeah, we got a research assistant, John, the owner over here. Oh, by the way, John, all right, what team did Jim Mora go? Playoffs?
Oh, was it the Colts?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
okay.
He said the Saints.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was Colts, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you
got
were
it.
trying to trick me. I was like, Colts.
Jim Mora was head coach of the Saints
He
back
was
when,
before.
right before that. Anyway, now I lost my damn train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, Staley should be fired. He's been there 2 years. But at the same time, you now have introduced Justin Herbert. You're going to have to introduce him to another offense that he's going to have to learn, as well as the whole scheme with Williams and Allen and Eckler
But
and all those
it's
guys.
better to do it now than wait another year.
Yeah,
But it doesn't take,
I know.
it takes more than a year for you to learn
Right,
the system.
so-
That's the problem.
So why wait and then have the same result because the coach screws the pooch again? So go ahead and fix it now instead of, oh,
So are they gonna bring in an offensive
No,
coordinator
they're
that has
gonna-
similar?
they're gonna leave Joe Lombardi there. I don't think they're gonna fix that because, I mean, the offense still did pretty well. It was
And he's been
defensive
hurt a
scheme
lot,
and it
too.
was
A lot of people. have been-
coach's decisions
Yeah.
is what killed them.
I mean, the execution obviously worked. It was 27-0.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
offense
that easy.
the offense was working.
You need another
Yeah,
one?
please.
Make that a Miller Lite as well, sir,
I'll do whatever.
or whatever, if he said.
All right, so,
All right,
the Jags advance.
so Jags advanced, they're gonna play, damn it, Kansas City, thank you.
So is everyone in the upstate South Carolina happy that Trevor Lawrence is advancing?
Listen, I've never
Because
seen so many Jags
yeah,
fans.
There's
I've never seen so many Jags fans since Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne
Yeah.
joined this damn team.
We were at Hall of Fame the other
They
night.
came out of the woodwork.
And
Out of the woodwork.
no one was wearing anybody else besides Trevor Lawrence.
Well, and Etienne.
And Etienne.
One guy.
But
and
because
Etienne.
Trevor Lawrence is
I don't
the
even know where
guy.
you find an Etienne jersey unless you're gonna be able
You
to.
gotta get
Or go to Florida.
Yeah, you can go to Duval.
Yeah,
Good luck with
Jags
that.
team.
Right.
It's a trash bag. Sorry, Duval County fans, but. I mean-
Brandon's gonna get us in trouble again.
Yeah, I stirred the pot over here. But I lived in West Palm Beach, so I lived in a nicer part of Florida.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
It just made it worse.
You did just made it worse.
All right, just keep digging. Keep digging that grave.
All right, Seahawks
They're
and
actually
49ers.
Seahawks, 49ers.
Mine wasn't nearly as bad as yours the other week.
Hold on. That wasn't so bad.
Oh, yours was filled with race.
I'm
No
gonna
one's not.
I'm gonna do the John Oliver. Moving on.
Moving on, yeah.
Moving on. All right, let's talk Seahawks, 49ers. Brock Purdy has literally looked like Joe
Whoa,
Montana.
whoa, 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 hold on.
Oh,
The next Tom Brady.
no.
Hold on.
The next Joe Montana.
Hold on.
No.
Let's take the brakes. Really bump them a little bit.
Joe Montana's a god. Don't insult him like that.
Purdy has been Purdy, and they're winning.
Purdy.
But let's slow down on
No,
that.
if you look at
But
the
if you
similarities,
look at this.
Let
if
me
you
slow
look
down
at the
on the
similarities,
dribble.
it's way more parallel to
I
Tom
said
Brady.
he's looking like. I'm not saying he is. I'm
But
saying
no,
he
if you look at the
look at the
narrative,
score of that game. 41-23. You beat the Seahawks, right?
It was not very good.
But they made the playoffs. Geno Smith has looked fairly decent for most of the year. The Seahawks just re-signed him for another year, so he's going to be the starter there again. Pete Carroll looks like a genius because he got rid of Russell Wilson to the Broncos and then promoted Geno Smith to the quarterback and made the playoffs with the guy.
I got something to say about the Broncos really quick. But I'll if you look at the similarities of narrative, it's more Tom Brady than anything. Someone got hurt, he stepped in, no one knew who the hell he was, and he
I mean, I
on his
never
road.
knew who he was.
So
But
Joe
Kyle,
Montana didn't get a job like this. Joe Montana got drafted out of Notre Dame into San Francisco with Joe Walsh, West Coast offense, and Joe Walsh.
Lost your place.
Yeah,
right.
Joe Walsh can jam out.
James Gay.
Bill Walsh. Sorry, no disrespect, but I love Bill Walsh. He fit right into that system, and he grew. This is way to Tom Brady than Joe Montana, and I just don't want to disrespect him. If he ends up losing like the next round, that's Joe Montana would never have done that.
Okay, you say so.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, let's talk about the game. 49ers Seahawks, kind of a blowout up to a certain point. Geno Smith had a few interesting drives down the field. Didn't really.
If they didn't have Metcalf, it would be a huge, like just another game.
Yeah.
It was Geno Smith and Metcalf.
Correct. It was. It basically was the Geno Smith, Christian Metcalf game.
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. What the?
No, we're mixing.
DK Metcalf.
Metcalf. That's what I
We have a big bowl of soup.
Yeah, that was
Alphabet soup just going around. All right, let's talk about the Giants. We're saving you relax because I know what you're.
I don't care.
Chomping at the bit. Let's talk about the Giants Vikings game because I'll tell you this. They are probably going to sign
So
Brian
far, it's
Dable.
working, but you are not
They're
yet.
probably going to sign Brian Dable to a huge extension after that game
Well,
because
they.
Hi guys, how are you?
Do you think he exceeded expectations?
100%.
Dumb question. Like no one expected him to go to the playoffs.
No, and win in the wild card round.
With Daniel Jones.
With
You can't
Daniel
even throw a
Jones.
screen back.
And he kind of made him into like a.
Well, Saquon had 2 touchdowns in the game.
He looks like he came from like Josh Allen, and I think he was like, let me try to make him kind of like a Josh Allen player, and he looks amazing. He looks awesome. Now, do I think the Giants are going to beat Philadelphia next week? Absolutely not. Sorry, Brian Dable, I love you, but
Depends on how hurt Jalen Hurts.
I think he's had enough time to recover. But he didn't look that good last week.
I still think that game was more of the Vikings defense sucked all year. And during crunch time, Kirk Cousins always sucks.
Well,
So,
someone said the other day.
100% true.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is terrible
Yeah.
under pressure.
Someone said before this game, it was Friday on NFL Network. This game was about are the Vikings a good team or just a good record? And that's
well, and they won a lot of those close games because they had big plays from JJ and Thielen and Hawkinson and stuff like that. But Kirk Cousins will win you some games in the regular season and look like, oh wow, finally, like maybe he can put it together. But then when it matters, fold. He throws a 3-yard pass when you need not. You know, like that's
Right, well, that's kind of what happened.
Easy there, Greg. Don't knock down the wall.
He's having a check down.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a check, yeah, right.
which is fine on first down.
Not on fourth down.
Right.
When the game's on the line.
No,
Yeah, I mean-
I do think the Vikings have something there. They
What in
had,
the world is Stephen A. Smith wearing?
He wore the Bucks outfit
because he hates the
because
Cowboys.
he hates the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in Dallas, and look at who's there.
No, they're in
Look at this
Tampa.
guy.
No, they're in
Other
Tampa.
than Tampa, that's what I meant. Yeah, and look who's there. That's why he's wearing it.
Irvin.
Yeah.
Surprised he's not wearing a cowboy hat again. Anyway, we'll get to that game just later on. But listen, I'm interested to see next week's game, Giants Eagles. See how Jalen Hurts looks. Obviously
And both
That's been
teams hate
injured.
each other.
both teams absolutely
I
hate
mean-
each other. It's going to be in Philly. Hopefully, there's no snow or ice because we may not have a playoff game, or Santa Claus might get killed.
Or glass, or knives, or any kind of weaponry besides the Philadelphia mouth.
Because we know how these games have ended up in the past. That's why they have a judge in a jail in the bottom of the stadium in Philly, because they
That was
are
in the
absolutely, they still
They
have it.
still have
They
it?
Still have it. Still have it. It's gonna be interesting. And my wife being a huge Giants fan, her best friend is a huge Eagles fan. So I'm interested to see how Alyssa and Allie interact this weekend. So that should be fun. Obviously yesterday I was walking around wearing a Phil Simms jersey.
Yeah.
So clearly, when it comes to pro sports, she's the smarter one in the mirror.
Shut up.
I mean,
I was walking around with my.
After this 13?
I went to a bar here in town that hosts the Buffalo Bills fan, and I wore my Joe Burrow Cincinnati Bengals jersey.
But so
And I literally was about to get into a fight.
no, one guy.
One
It was
guy.
stupid because everyone complimented you on the Joe
Yes.
Burrow jersey.
Yeah.
And they were the smart Buffalo Bills fans.
Yes. But there was one guy, as
And he
there
was an
always
idiot.
is.
He was clearly an idiot.
And he was drunk, and he got
And if
cut
you're
off.
watching this, you're an idiot.
We
You're not
do.
Bills Mafia.
They're not Bills Mafia with your stupid New York spiked hair.
Yeah. Go back to Florida.
License number.
He did look Italian, but I can't really, he didn't have a gold chain though. But anyway, all right, let's talk about last night's game. We'll talk about Bengals Ravens. What a game! What a game! My boy Sam Hubbard from Ohio State running back that 98-yard touchdown with the fumble recovery, longest in playoff history.
talk about blowing the game.
Well, yeah.
Well, so
Not that I care because I don't like the Ravens, but
full disclosure, I watched the highlights this morning.
I didn't watch it.
But I just felt like, so they played each other last week, and the Bengals really came out to play because they didn't want to do a coin toss or anything like that. Yesterday, they looked flat. They didn't look like Cincinnati Bengals. Am I right?
No, you're right. I agree.
Because
I
look
agree. I
how
think it
close
was.
that score is.
Well,
you know?
and they would have been behind if he had not fumbled.
Well,
Yeah,
it would have been tied.
I mean, if they would have handed it to Dobbins, they probably would have been behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. And, Burrow and Chase and Boyd and those guys didn't look great. Mixon had, Mixon did Mixon, as he's done all season long. He, with the runs and the pass catching. But, the Bengals didn't look like the Bengals. The defense, the Bengals defense is what saved this game.
Well, and
And the Bengals defense is what has saved this team since they're on this 11-game, I think they're on 11-game winning streak.
9 games.
About 9 games?
They haven't lost since Halloween.
All right, so 9-game winning streak. And it's the Bengals defense that has kept them in there. Now, it's going to be interesting to see going into Buffalo next week. what's gonna happen.
Well, and
Well,
I think with this game too, I think most people would say, I think even with Lamar, the Bengals overall are better. And, most of the time, those better teams that have that more experience winning in playoffs seem to pull it.
Sure, yeah.
Somehow, some way, something happens.
I mean, I know I'm pointing out the obvious here, but with playoff football, it's not how you win, it's if you win.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it
win and
really-
move on. That's
like,
it.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, well, I know we'll get to it, but Dolphins Bills yesterday was not pretty at all. We were ahead and we lost it. Same thing with
Not
the
pretty
Bengals.
is an understatement.
I mean, same thing with the Bengals and
You
Ravens.
let Skylar Thompson fucking run, excuse my language, but you let Skylar Thompson just.
Well, he got a couple, good. I mean, he had Waddle and Tyreek Hill and.
Well, he didn't have Waddle for half the
And
game.
he dropped most of those passes.
And he did drop most of them. But we'll get into that here in a minute. Because we're about to roast the Bills.
Let's get into it now.
I'm not roasting the Bills. I'm just saying, all right, let's get into it. Let's
I'm
take
about
the
to
game.
roast the
So my biggest takeaway from the Bills playing that way yesterday was Josh Allen was big play hunting. It was all about the big play.
He's had a problem with that this year.
Yes, and it really makes him look bad. We all know he's a superstar, but if he's all about the big plays, he gets turnovers, he's unfocused and stuff like that. Where you have Cole Beasley back, well, obviously you got a touchdown last night. Why don't you just run Singletary? You're up 17 nothing at one point, and that's what they caught up to 17. You have James Cook and Singletary, and you have good slot receivers. Like, play smart football, keep the lead. Now, did I think that when we blew the lead that we were going to lose? No, not at all. However, you shouldn't have blown that lead against the Dolphins. It actually is a depleted secondary. They don't have a great defense. Now, the defense came out. The play yesterday sacked Josh Allen 6 times. I've never seen Josh Allen get sacked that many times. And our offensive line is pretty legit, so they came out to play. But I feel like their packages that they were running was just too inflated with big plays. And just play smart football, and you're going to have to do that against Cincinnati.
Oh, and the other thing on the defense, I think this is where losing Von Miller really shows itself.
Sure, yeah.
Big
The
time.
executor,
Big time.
I mean, we really needed him, especially in the next 2 weeks, to be that finisher.
Well, you have to be the leader of that defense. I mean, the guy is literally the guy who stands out there and is like, all right, so the DC will call in,
Well, Milano
their
does
scheme.
that, because he's the middle.
Well, then Milano's a spy, right? And now you're depending on Greg Rousseau to fill in.
He's decent, but he's not a Von
And he
Miller.
got pointed from Von Miller, and he's certainly getting coached, but he's still kind of young too.
Yeah.
The good thing about our defense next week, and I personally think they're the best safety tandem in the NFL, Micah Hyde's on the and that's big time. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer playing on each side is humongous for that defense, because then you can have Milano just spy all freaking day, especially with the looks that he has to give with Joe Burrow and all those receivers.
But if Josh throws 2 picks, they're going to lose.
Right. It's all about controlling football, protecting the football in this next game, especially even if we do make it past the Bengals against the Chiefs. Like, you cannot give
Hey, at least it's in Atlanta.
I know, and I'm actually trying to get tickets for that. But we'll see. But anyways, that's my breakdown of my team.
Yeah, I mean-
But I feel like, again, it's not how you win, it's if you win.
Yeah, they need a better pass rush, and they need Josh to not throw it.
More work on it.
All right.
Oh, we can talk about the Dolphins' cocky little head coach, if we want, who ended up blowing the lead himself because.
I'm sorry, John, what was your quote about the Dolphins head coach?
Mike McDaniel.
Oh, he tries to be the smartest guy in the room.
Right, but you said something else. You went to Yale and.
Oh,
Yes, come on.
no.
What'd you say?
That's all I said.
Oh, did you do the line from American Psycho about Yale?
And he's trying to be the smartest guy in the room. That's all I say.
That guy went to Yale and he's trying to be the smartest guy. in the world.
I think there was
personally-
probably something else.
I
There
know
was
he's
something
a
else
smart
to it.
guy. I do know.
I don't remember. I gotta be honest.
No, I know what he's, I know what he's talking about.
It was an hour ago. Seriously, I don't remember. Otherwise, I would tell you. My genius just flowed.
Yeah. Hey, you just
Kenny, mute the mics
spit
and I'll tell
pearls,
you
yeah.
really fast.
But no, he is a smart guy. He has a lot of playoff experience being under the Shanahan tree in San Francisco. But what rookie head coach goes out and just tries to be a cocky asshole?
Is Jefferson
Like-
working?
No,
Oh.
he's just, he locked his keys in his car.
I went down, got something, I left my keys in my car, so I called them. They're supposed to be there in like 15 minutes, and they come back. That's gonna be another 40 minutes.
So who do we have to sponsor on our podcast about?
And it was a
Keys
quote
out,
from
yeah,
Varsity Blues, and I just said he's the dumbest smart guy I ever met.
The dumbest smart guy I ever met. That's what it was. That's what it
But
was.
like, he gets ahead of himself. Like the way, I'll go back to the Bills thing where he
Where
walked around
did
with
you
shirt.
find this guy?
Like
by the
no
way?
good coach.
That's what
San
I don't-
Francisco.
San Francisco.
He's the offensive coordinator of the 49ers.
Right.
He was the offensive coordinator for a while, and look how good San Francisco's been under Shanahan. So, just again, like what good head coach? Mike Tomlin, McDermott, who else? Like what?
Shanahan.
Shanahan goes out and just tries to like get weird, like, or psych out the team, whatever. It doesn't
Maybe
work.
that's their response to
Hey, it's
that.
better than Adam
They,
Gase.
they won a whole lot more than they have.
Hey, anything's better than Adam
Wait,
Gase.
what'd you say?
Yeah, I
To be
mean,
fair, didn't Flores start 1-7 and then win 7 straight games?
Correct.
And end up 8-8, just right exactly where
Correct.
Mike McDaniel
And then got
actually
fired.
was.
Yeah,
weren't they 9?
and they got
Yeah,
fired
he gets just the extra game. That's what I'm saying. Flores
Because-
at 16.
because
He
apparently
was a
the
whistleblower.
owner,
He was a
because
whistleblower.
apparently the
Now
owner
this
was trying
offense
to
is a
pay him
lot more
off.
explosive.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
you
he
just-
also has Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Correct.
Flores
Yeah, he
didn't
didn't have those guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
or
those two.
Mostert, or what's
Or most.
Right,
Yeah.
Raheem
Yeah.
Mostert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Jeff Wilson.
or Gillespie.
But, and then
Yeah.
Stephen Ross was paying Brian Flores
Yeah, right.
$10,000 per loss.
Right?
I mean, come on. By the way, you notice how that kind of went silent, right? We haven't heard a peep about that since it all went down, right? The NFL trying to cover their ass again, just covering shit up, just saying,
And in no way are responsible for that.
yeah, we're getting there, we're getting
I'm ready
there.
for
We
that
still got
one.
plenty of time left
Ready
in
for
the
that
show,
one.
all right? Anyway, it's Monday, and you're drinking?
It's just a, yeah, it's just a beer.
Brother, it was sacrilegious.
Oh, Jefferson.
All right, Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football tonight.
I actually do not believe in a Monday night playoff game. I just
Why?
think it's stupid.
I think it's awesome.
Let's all.
I love it.
They should have done it over the weekend because then you've got
All
that
right,
one
I
less
would've made
day.
it,
You have
I
that
would've
one
made
less
it,
day.
I would've made it a Thursday night game instead of a Monday night.
No, first of all, I hate
Last
Thursday night
Thursday?
football. Yeah.
This past, yeah.
What'd you
No,
get?
put them all on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But there was a meme saying that Dak Prescott said, I don't believe there should be a Monday night playoff game because I put the cruise ticket and I only have to give them 6 days,
No, it is.
I thought it was
Because he
hilarious.
knows they're gonna lose.
Yeah, right.
Oh, they are gonna lose.
I hate the fact there's.
By the way, Tom Brady has as many playoff wins, which is 35, as the entire Cowboys franchise.
So let me
Point that out.
ask a $1 million question.
Right?
Is this when?
Tom Brady has 35 playoff wins, as many as the Cowboys' entire franchise.
It's-
Oh, he's a Cowboys fan.
Now,
30
You
years.
want in
They
on
keep
it?
showing
Come on,
1992.
get in on this. We're talking about tonight's game.
It's
Get in on
Tom
this.
Brady. It's
Now, I
Tom
will
Brady.
say, and I hate the Cowboys, but they did play fewer games then. Like, there's
Correct.
more games now with the opportunity to win.
Correct. Oh, here
I
he
will
comes.
say that.
Here he
I will
comes.
say that.
Here he comes. We're talking about tonight's
Cowboys
game.
are losing tonight.
Oh, he even admits it.
Right.
The
All right.
Cowboys-
Brady goes
So,
8-0.
I was
Brady
gonna
is now
say-
going to be 8-0 against the
Is
Cowboys.
this when Brady turns it on this year? Like, he's been in this situation countless times, and he is Tom freaking Brady.
Well, he's gonna win tonight, but lose next week.
You think so?
Yeah.
Who would they end up playing?
The Giants.
No.
No.
Oh, no,
It's
no, no.
Eagles, Giants, San Francisco.
They get San Francisco.
Okay.
Winner gets
Right.
San
All
Fran.
right, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Sorry. Even against Mr. Irrelevant. Oh, John's gonna answer the phone. Never mind. He's
He's
out.
from San Francisco, or Northern California. He's just gonna stay home. Yeah.
All right. So I will tell you my prediction for tonight. I took the over/under. I took the over, which is 45.5.
Right.
And I took Tampa plus 2.5. I think those are both pretty solid
Tampa
bets.
plus 2.
And I think it's gonna be one of those games that's close in the fourth quarter, and Dallas will figure out a way to chip. Just like.
How many interceptions?
Look what they did last year.
Hold on. How many interceptions did Dak Prescott throw tonight?
2.
Yeah.
If he throws more than
And
one,
I
they
think Tom
lose.
has it. I think Tom has an interception.
If he throws more than one, they lose. That is my prediction. If Dak Prescott throws more than one interception, Dallas.
So what's the injury report on this? Like, does Tom have all his receivers?
I mean, he's got.
Everything's
Everybody.
he's getting his center back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think there's really any injuries that you got to worry about.
They're about as healthy right now as they.
They've been all year.
Yeah, there's the divisional playoffs. So Saturday is 4:30 and 8:15. Sunday is 3 and 6:30. So he's got Jags, KC Saturday at 4:30. You've got Giants, Eagles Saturday night.
Let's, all right,
You've
let's,
got Bengals, Bills Sunday afternoon.
3 o'clock.
3
Let's
o'clock,
do,
and then
okay,
the winner of
Frisco and this game is
Sunday.
the late game.
The late game.
because we meet up, it's gonna be on Monday, so let's do some predictions about what's gonna go next week. So Jags, Chiefs in Arrowhead. I feel
Chiefs are
like
gonna smoke them.
that if Trevor Lawrence throws 3 interceptions in a quarter against the Chargers, the Chiefs are gonna
50
eat
to
them.
nothing, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Chiefs are gonna smoke
And Patrick Mahomes is playing at MVP now.
I can help my friend.
He didn't look that good his last game, but he's gonna probably get the MVP.
Yeah, I would say so.
And me being a Bills fan, I know plenty of Pat Mahomes, and he's good. He's good.
I agree. But I will take the Chiefs all day there. I mean, I just
So
think
I
the
actually.
Jags are way overmatched.
So I will say this, just because of the odds, I did put a little money on Jacksonville to win the whole Super Bowl.
Jesus.
So,
I mean, if you
$5
bet
wins
$10,
$255.
yeah.
Yeah, so
You know,
I was like,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I'm like, so I'll be pulling for them, but yeah, the brain says Chiefs all.
All right,
Who else? All right, so Giants.
Giants, Eagles. I'm gonna hold out. I want to see the injury report. I want to see how healthy that Jalen Hurts is going to be before I make a prediction. If Jalen Hurts is not 100%, I think Giants have a chance. Jalen Hurts is 100%, the Giants are screwed.
I just think the Giants or the Eagles secondary, I mean, well, their whole, even their front four on D and the secondary, I just can't imagine Daniel Jones being able to really operate and do a whole lot. I don't picture him going out there and throwing 2 or 3 touchdowns and not throwing picks and not fumbling when he gets sacked and all
Oh, you're gonna
that.
have
I just,
highly relying on Saquon.
yeah, and they're gonna stack the box and not let Saquon win. I don't see it going well for the Giants at all.
All right, what was the other game? Bengals, Bills.
In Buffalo with
I don't care. Don't care. Cincinnati
Yeah,
plays in
Cincinnati's
cold weather.
cold, yeah.
Well, no, I just think home field, no matter if it was in Cincinnati, you have the Cincinnati fans, like, Buffalo.
But that didn't stop Cincinnati from marching down the field against you guys before in the last game before it got
7-3 with 8
canceled.
minutes left.
I'm
So
just
we're not
saying.
even gonna reference that game.
I'm just saying.
What's your pick?
What's your
My
pick?
pick is the Bills scrape by. That's not hard. The Bills scrape by.
Who are you picking?
I think
He's going to go Cincinnati.
I'm going Cincy. I think Cincy's gonna blow them out.
Blow him out?
You heard me.
You heard
After the
that.
way- after the
I
way-
will, he's gonna,
After the way Cincinnati played against Miami.
I will literally have a crow. A dead crow.
Buffalo
So
played
he can eat
against
it.
Miami. The way you guys played against Miami, if the same team shows up, you're done. Game over. Cincinnati, I shouldn't say we.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
Your
and that
team's in New
team.
Jersey. Playing Cleveland.
I think we win by minimum 14.
Who's we?
Yeah, he's a Cincinnati Bengals fan. man.
Well, for the playoffs.
So-
I mean, that's my second.
I want the Bills to win. I think the Bengals are gonna win, but it's gonna be close. There's
It'll
no
be by
blowout,
3.
whatever.
I will.
Field goal.
Do they have the line right now?
Nick McPherson or something
Yeah.
kicking a field goal at the end. I think it's gonna be close. But
But he also has a niche for missing some.
I just don't like the way the Bills have been playing, and like I said, I want them to win.
And then that's the thing.
I'd love them to go to the
That's the
Super
thing.
Bowl.
All
but
right,
I
John,
don't-
you got a minute?
I don't think they're gonna do it.
Come on over. We want your prediction. We'll get John in here to do some guest predictions. For at least the.
I can't believe you said blow him out. Like, come on.
Alright.
Are you a sports person?
Alright.
All right, NetJets is bringing in the guest speaker.
We're flying them in. We're flying them in. All right, John. So we're gonna go first game. We're gonna go Jaguars, Kansas City.
Blowout, Kansas City. It's gonna remind me of that college national championship game with Georgia
Oh,
at
wow.
TCU.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hey,
I can see it. I can see it. It's gonna be.
I think it ends.
All right.
Listen, Trevor
With a
Lawrence throws
knockout.
3 picks in one
Wow.
quarter.
All
The
right.
first quarter.
And then we've got the Giants, Eagles.
I think Philadelphia wins the game. It's a bloody battle. It's Frazier Ali. But Philadelphia's gonna win that.
And then we got Cincy Buffalo.
John Tread
Look,
No,
Cincinnati's
seriously.
got some problems. And I'll tell you what my concern is. How many carries did Mixon get last night? 8?
Yeah.
Perine 4.
Yeah.
They've got to run the ball. If they just rely
With
on
Mixon,
Joe
yeah.
Burrow and they just try to get pass happy, I think it's going to cause a little bit of a problem for Cincinnati. I think if they have a more balanced attack, I think Cincinnati can do it.
Well, and I think,
If Mixon has 8 carries in the game, it's not going to work.
but Josh can't play hero ball either.
Yeah, you can't do the splash plays. Play smart football. That's it with the Bills. Just play smart. Try not to be top 10 on SportsCenter all 10 plays.
All right, what was the next one?
That's it.
And then tonight,
Well, he already.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
he's gonna win this
He's
game.
in Tampa.
It ends-
I'm
it
with
ends
you.
next
I
week in
say
San
Tampa.
Francisco.
I say Tampa wins too.
Yeah.
all right.
But either
What
team
about you?
loses next weekend.
I think Tampa Bay's going to win. I just Tom Brady's been in this predicament, and also no offense to any of the Cowboy fans, they just do find a way to muck it up.
Good use of the word buck.
Yeah, just
That's
think about
last year.
against San
They didn't
Francisco.
hand the ball back to the ref. It's just the stupidest little thing, and they could have won that game. And then who knows that? But
But they're
it's
just not. And I'm good with that.
And
I'm
under
good with it.
sorry. But under Mike McCarthy, they're so undisciplined and they're just stupid.
All right. Anything else, fellas, before we wrap this up? John, you got anything? I know you got a lot on your mind.
What pot do we want to stir?
You guys went over so much.
We got Florida.
All right. Well, this has been 2 Men in Football live from Tadaro's Pizza, 116 North Markley Street, downtown Greenville. This is the owner. It's kind of shiny.
Hey,
It's kind of
shiny.
To my left is Lee Mason. To my right, Brandon Brady Fitzpatrick. 2 Men in Football. Want to thank Plumbing and Pink, Rusty and Lynn Greer. 864-735-7014. Chris Pryor, Service Realty, 864-380-0525. We'll see you next Monday night, right here, same time, same bat channel, 6:30.
Come get a pizza.
Come get a
It's
pizza.
really good.
It's really good. Yes.